Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's do this problem right here. This question is asking you to find power series representation for x over sin x. Now let's see how we can find it. So first of all, what we do, we have power series representation for sin x already, so we can write that one out. This is going to be x over, and the power series representation for sin x is going to be summation n is equal to 0 to infinity negative 1 power n. X power n is actually 2n plus 1 over 2n plus 1 factorial. So this is the power series representation for sin x. Now all we have to do is take few of the terms from this power series representation and divide x by those values. Now let's get some of the values. So we are going to have x over, and if I plug the 0, if I plug first term, that's 0, and negative 1 power 0 is going to be 1, and then x power 2n plus 1. So 2 times 0, that's going to be 0, so we are just going to have x divided by 0 plus 1, that's going to be 1 factorial. So the first term is going to be just x, and if you plug the second value, that's going to be 1, and you will get 1 over 6x cubed, and if you plug third value, that's going to give you 1 over 120 x power 5. So these are the terms you are going to get if you plug it. Now here we had to do long division in order to find the final value, right? So we can find the long division. So we are dividing x by this one, x minus 1 over 6 x cubed plus 1 over 120 x power 5. Now the first question we have to ask is, if I multiply x by which value, I will get this one. If I multiply x by which value, I will get this one. So that's going to be just 1, right? Then I have to multiply this one with this one and write those terms. So this is going to be x minus 1 over 6 x cubed plus 1 over 120 x power 5. And if you subtract this one from this x will go away, x minus x, that's going to be 0. Then minus 1 over 6 x cubed plus 1 over 120 x power 5, right? So this is the term we have. Now the next question is, and this is actually is going to be plus, minus minus, that's going to be plus. And the next question is, if I multiply this one by which term, that's going to give us 1 over 6 x cubed. So that's going to be 1 over 6 x square. If you multiply 1 over x square by this, that's going to give you 1 over 6 x cubed. Now again, if we go ahead and multiply with this one, and you can write the values. But here let's limit for 2 values only. We can go as far as we want, but it's okay to limit some terms and write the final answer. Now let's go ahead and find 2 terms only. So if I multiply this one by this one, that's going to be 1 over 6 x cubed, and if I multiply again with this one, 1 over 6 times 1 over 6, that's going to be 1 over 36. So this is going to be negative 1 over 36 x power 5, right? So this is x power 5, and this is also x power 5, and if you subtract this one, this will go away, and finally you will end up with this one. And if you calculate this one, you will get 7 over 300 x power 5. So that's going to be the final answer. And again, if you ask, if I multiply this one by which value, that's going to give us this value. So that's going to be plus 7 over 300 power x power 4, right? So this is the value we are going to write in the final answer. So we know that x over sin x is going to be equal to 1 plus 1 over 6 x square plus 7 over 300 x power 4, and that's going to be the final answer. And that's how we find out power series representation for these kind of questions. I hope you guys find this video helpful. See you next time.